Good day everyone! In this video, I will be demonstrating different topics from technology for teaching and learning to for a junior high school student. Before we start our new lesson this morning, may I ask Fritz to lead us the prayer? Okay, amen. Thank you so much, Fritz. So how are you today, class? It's good to hear that all of you are okay. So before we proceed to our topic, what can you say about the education system here in the Philippines? Lian. Lian said that the education system here in the Philippines was implementing the K-12 curriculum. So our topic class this morning is all about the K-12 curriculum framework. So based on this topic, can you share what did you know or what did you want to know? LV. LV said that the K-12 or K stand for kindergarten and 12 stand for 12 years in education, and you want to know why the K-12 is implementing or what are the benefits that we get to this new system of education. So here are the learning outcomes that we need to achieve at the end of this lesson. Now, when you say K-12 curriculum framework, a curriculum framework is an organized plan or set of standards of learning outcomes that defines the content to be learned in terms of clear, definable standards of what the student should know and be able to do. What is curriculum? Curriculum is a planned interaction of pupils with instructional content materials, resources, and process for evaluating the attainment of educational objectives according to JEDHAV and Patankar 2013. So the teacher play a very important role in the facilitation of student learning by designing, implementing, and evaluating the curriculum. And according to also by 2016, better teachers support better learning because they are most knowledgeable about the practice of teaching and are responsible for introducing the curriculum in the classroom. Here are the salient features of the K-12 curriculum: the strengthening early childhood education or the universal kindergarten, making a curriculum relevant to learners or contextualization and enhancement, building proficiency or mother tongue multilingual education, ensuring integrated and seamless learning or spiral progression, nurturing the holistic developed Filipino or college and livelihood readiness 21st century skills, and gearing up for the future. The salient features of the K-12 curriculum have been thoroughly considered to ensure that all courses in the teacher education program will meet the demands of the 21st century classroom by integrating technologies for teaching and learning. So, strengthening early childhood education or universal kindergarten, every Filipino child is expected to have an access to early childhood education, which is this access can be facilitated using technological tools that are available to the school for teachers' use. And according to the study, students value the curriculum that is important to their lives. According to SARA 2010, says that students need personal link to teaching materials which can be achieved by emotionally engaging them or linking this content to what they know. When it comes to making the curriculum relevant to learners or contextualization and enhancement. And also, Briggs 2014 gave a few tips for making learning more engaging and personally important. First is use suspense and keep it fresh. Make it student-directed, connect it to their lives, to what they already know, and provide utility value, build relatedness, which is our activity must be related to the real-life situation. And according to REACH 2014, 21st century learners are expected to be demonstrating 21st century competencies such as to thrive in this world, and children learn better and more active in class and learn a second language even faster when they are first taught in the language they understand. here in the building proficiency or mother tongue multilingual education. For gearing up for the future, the K-12 curriculum ensures college readiness by aligning the core and applied courses to the College Readiness Standards or CSR and the new General Education or GE curriculum. And all specialization subjects including academics, sports, arts and design, technical, vocational, livelihood tracks, and even college must accept and supported by educational technology for a better learning. And nurturing the holistic developed Filipino college and livelihood readiness 21st century skills to nurture the holistically developed Filipino. Every K-12 graduates is expected to be ready to go into different paths, higher education, employment, and entrepreneurship. And every graduate is expected to be equipped with information, media, and technology skills, effective communication skills, and life and career skills. The K-12 curriculum framework in mathematics has a learning area standard, which is the learner demonstrate understanding and appreciation of key concepts and principles of mathematics as applied using appropriate technology in problem solving, critical thinking, communicating, reasoning, making connection, representation, and decision making in real life situation. And here are the mathematics learning competencies of every year level. Here are the kinder to grade 3, grade 4 to grade 6, grade 7 to grade 10. Those are the mathematics learning competencies of every year level. So the K-12 curriculum framework in mathematics, the specific skills and processes to be developed are knowing, understanding, estimating, computing, and solving, visualizing and modeling, representing and communicating, conjecturing, reasoning, proving, and decision making, and applying and connecting. Those are the skills that the student will develop. So based on our activity or discussions, so what have you learned, especially on how technological resources can be integrated properly and how they will meet the important learning outcomes and the 21st century skills? LV. Okay, thank you so much, LV. So we uh, integrate properly the technology in the classroom with the help of the teacher, which is the one who has a big role in implementing or facilitating student learning by integrating technology. For your assignment, kindly visit our Google Classroom and answer the attached quiz there, and don't forget to turn it in before the due date. So do you have any question, class, clarification, or addition to our discussion? Okay, none. Okay, thank you so much, class, and I hope you learned something from our discussion this morning, and thank you so much. Okay, before we start our new lesson this morning, may I ask Grace to lead us the prayer? Okay, amen. Thank you so much, Grace. So how are you today, class? It's good to hear that all of you are okay. So now, before we proceed to our topic, may I ask your background, educational experiences, and prior knowledge and skills on how information, communication technologies or ICT were successfully used by your teachers in your previous grade level, and recall the ICT tools that were used by your teachers in your language class, Filipino or English, and describe how these were used to help you understand your lesson. Mary Ann. Okay, thank you so much, Mary Ann, for sharing your experience in your previous grade level. The technology is integrated by your teacher and they use PPT, PowerPoint presentation, or interactive PowerPoint presentation and PDF for you to understand your lesson. So our topic this morning, class, is all about the ICT pedagogy integration in language learning plan. Here are the learning outcomes of this topic. And it is important to understand what information and communication technology or ICT is all about and how important it is to the language of education. So integrating technology in instruction. According to John Pisapia, 1994, technology integration in teaching means the use of learning technologies to introduce, reinforce, supplement, and extend skills. And according to the ISTA, International Society for Technology in Education, effective integration of technology is achieved when students are able to select technological tools to help them obtain information in a timely manner, to analyze and synthesize the information, and present it professionally. And according to Margaret Lloyd 2005, ICT integration encompasses an integral part of broader curriculum reform, which include both infrastructure and also considering pedagogy that are changing not only how learning occurs but what is learned. And also according to Kiyun Wang and Huwai Lit Wu 2007, integrating information technology and communication or ICT in teaching and learning is growing area that has attracted many educators' effort in recent years, which happen in three different areas like in curriculum, topics, and lesson. And Bernard Bahati 2010 state that the process of integration of ICT in teaching and learning should be done for both pedagogical levels with much focus on the ICT integration in the pedagogical principles into teaching and learning. According to UNESCO 2005, integration is not only by mastering the hardware and software skills, but also on how teachers organize the classroom to create learning plan and activities, which with the use of ICT resources and traditional devices like markers and whiteboard. According to More Sound 2005, defined ICT that covers all the various computer hardware, software, and services for telecommunications. And TNU 2009 described ICT as a diverse set of technological tools and resources that are used in communication, creation, dissemination, to store and managing information. And UNESCO 2005 states that ICT is a variety of technological tools and resources for the transmission, storage, development, sharing, and of information. And Ratiswari 2018, ICT that could influence human life in any aspect like workplaces, places in business, education, and entertainment. So using ICT integration framework in language education learning plans, first is the conversational framework of Lau-Rilliards 2002. The teaching learning process uses very difficult tasks to allow learners to understand and master their lessons and skills which they are expected to demonstrate. And also the Lau-Rilliards conversational framework or LCF is relevant in the field of language education since this field requires appropriate and complex use of various technologies. And also in there are three fundamental elements of ICT integration by Wang 2008. First is pedagogy, social interaction, and technology. When you say pedagogy, the pedagogical design, a language teacher will need use to include proper selection of appropriate content and language learning activities and use appropriate technological resources. And also in social interaction, to engage the learners in the teaching learning process fully and meaningfully, the social design of the ICT-based learning environment need to deliver a secure and comfortable space. And also the technology, which is the third element of framework, that generally uses computers to support various learning activities. Categories for information, communication, and technology or ICT in teaching, in teacher training, ICT, which is ICT as the main content focus, ICT as a core delivery technology, and ICT as part of contents on methods, and ICT as facilitating our networking technology. And also, according to Haddad in 2003, the reason why ICT pedagogy training was promoted to support the development of higher order thinking skills and also to promote collaboration. And UNESCO or ICT competency framework for teacher. UNESCO was able to develop ICT competence framework for teachers. Commission in Higher Education or CHED through its policy standards and guidelines or PSGs requires the integration of ICT in the language of teaching and learning. Okay, for your activity, so do you learn something from our discussion? Okay, that's great. So yesterday I will post the files which is in relation to learning plan or the essential parts of learning plan. So for this activity, can you please share to the class the essential parts of the learning plan and what is unique with ICT integration in language teaching that must be thoroughly considered when developing the learning plan? And for your assignment, kindly visit our Google Classroom and answer the attached quiz there. And don't forget to turn it in before the due date. And I hope you learned something today, class. Do you have any clarification, questions, and addition to our discussion? Okay, Nan? Okay, thank you so much, class. Before we start our new lesson this morning, we ask Joanne Malidas to lead us in prayer. Okay, amen. Thank you so much, Joanne. So how are you today, class? It's good to hear that all of you are okay. So now, as a review to our lesson yesterday, may I ask Grace to give a recap. Okay, thank you so much, Grace. So yesterday, we discussed about ICT integration into language learning. So now, our new topic is all about inquiry-based learning and research-based learning. So, what did you know or what did you want to know about this new topic, Lian? Okay, thank you so much, Lian. Lian said that inquiry-based learning is a process of asking different questions. Thank you so much, Lian. And here are the learning outcomes of this topic. And the nature of inquiry-based learning. Inquiry, in its simplest definition, is a process of asking questions. And in the classroom, is in particular, in the process of inquiry is a basic learning activity that every teacher is expected to facilitate. The inquiry-based learning or IBL as an approach essentially involved tasks requiring learners' active participation in finding answer to curricular questions. And also, the process of inquiry starts from positing a questions aligned to content standards in the K-12 curriculum in English. When to use? According to Chelsholm and Godley 2011 purport that inquiry-based instruction in IBI offers an especially appropriate approach to learning about language variation, identity, and power. And also, there are 4 types of inquiry according to BIU 2020. First is standard inquiry, controlled inquiry, guided inquiry, and free inquiry. Standard inquiry, this lets the student to follow the leads of the teacher as the entire class engage in one inquiry together, and the teacher chooses the topic and identifies the resources that the student will use to answer the questions. So the teacher chooses topic or questions and the student design a product or solutions. And students are allowed to choose their own topics without any reference to prescribed outcomes. And research-based learning is the integration of the theoretical knowledge based on the theoretical knowing with the use of appropriate data collection and analysis procedures to examine, verify, or study a phenomenon or occurrence. And also, activities of practicing inquiry and research are needed to develop research competencies of future professionals. And students should be involved in the learning process where the theory and practice emerge and interconnect each other, and students are also need theoretically oriented method courses and need to work on skills like observations, interview, and interpretation. Role of teachers. So, ASVEC and Kujis Gen 6 2016, with deciding IBL, teacher need to consider the following: prior knowledge and capacity, context learning, required meaning from experience, content and learning materials, process, strategy, reaction and behavior, and courses outcomes. So, role of technology. The technology tools that are made available for the learners, whether online or offline, should support the object of inquiry, which is aligned to the learning competencies in the K-12 language curriculum. So, that's the role of technology, which is to support the learning objectives. It's either offline or online, which is we can see naman the importance or the availability of technology. For your assignment class, find the learning competencies in the chosen curriculum guide that are suited for an IBL. Determine the type of inquiry that you will be using. Note, note them down on the table provided. And here are the table class. So you may put your language learning competencies there and the type of inquiry. So, thank you so much, class. I hope you learned something for today. So, any clarification, questions, and addition? So, none. So, thank you so much, class. Before we start our new lesson this morning, may I ask Lian to lead us the prayer? Amen. Thank you so much, Lian. So, how are you today, class? So it's good to hear that all of you are. Okay, so now as a review to our previous discussion, I request Mary Ann to give a recap. Okay, thank you so much, Mary Ann. So yesterday we discussed about inquiry-based learning and research-based learning. So it is in relation to our topic this morning about problem-based learning and project-based learning. What did you know about our topic and what did you want to know? Fritz. Thank you so much, Fritz, for sharing your ideas. So, problem-based learning is all about solving different problems, and project-based learning is related to different projects or tasks that are given to the teachers. So, thank you so much, Fritz. So, here are the learning outcomes of this topic. And nature of problem-based learning. So, problem-based learning is an approach that involves the process of inquiry and solving open-ended questions that serve as the main problem that the learner will work. The end goal of PBL is to ensure that this target, the learning competencies are achieved in the process. And there are 5 principles of PBL. First is it is a power of independent and self-directed learning. Learning happens in a group and teacher is a facilitator. All groups have participate equally. Students learn about motivation, teamwork, problem solving, and engagement with the task. And materials such as data, photographs, articles can be used to solve problems. So, LO or LU 2009 6 stages process, which is identifying the problem, brainstorming, collecting and analyze information, synthesizing information, co-building knowledge, and refining the outcomes. So here are the benefits of problem solving. Problem-based learning according to Goffrod and Ernawati 2018 EFL writing class. So Baris Ali and Darmi 2019 EFL students enhances fluency in communication, improves grammar, increases comprehension, enhances good pronunciation and intonations, enhances self-confidence, and increases range of vocabulary. So according to Lin 2017, statistically revealed that the PBL or project-based learning participants showed more improvement in the reading comprehension than the non-PBL participants. And according to Mark Kusik and Sibuik 2019, they thought to establish the teacher's attitudes on the problem-based teaching of literature. And the role of technology, according to Bowler, Hedberg, and Kuswara 2010, stressed that technology is simply the mediator for collaboration and representation, and that is the type of task and thinking process in which students engage that determine the quality of learning. So the productivity tools, such as those for writing, presentations, spreadsheets, calendars, organizers, citations, and others are also available to assist learners and teachers in accomplishing required tasks and outputs from project-based activities. So the nature of project-based learning is an approach but has evolved as a teaching method that engaged learners in a series of planned tasks resulting to generation of solutions to world problems. So problem-based have proven to be beneficial in the development of various skills like research methodology skills, oral communicative competence, development of life skills. Research methodology skills, according to Tiwari Arya and Sal 2017, using student feedback questionnaires given to 99 students, it was revealed that student knowledge of the topic taken, searching review for topic, communication skills, data collection skills, and analytical and presentation skills were enhanced. And the developments of life skills, according to Widinger and Kurishi 2015, their findings reveal that after taking the PBL course, there was a significant difference in the mean score of the following life skills: responsibility, problem solving, self-direction, communication, and creativity skills. For oral communicative competence, according to Bakar, Nondin, and Raleigh 2019, the researchers investigated the effectiveness of using problem-based learning activities in the improvement of oral communicative competencies of 44 Malaysian English language learners. What have you learned from our discussion about problem-based and project-based learning? Okay, thank you so much, class, for sharing your ideas. So, for your assignment, kindly visit our Google Classroom and answer the attached quiz there, and don't forget to turn it in before the due date. So do you have any clarification, questions, or addition to our topic? If none, so you may leave now. So thank you so much, class. I hope you learned something from our discussion.